I'm at the beautiful Portland Rose Garden, and I'm with Rachel. And Rachel, you know, we love coming here. We love roses. We love roses in our home, but sometimes there are some problems. So you're going to show us a couple of those. And the first one I really didn't know about is called blind shoot. And so you have some samples here.
Yeah, absolutely. So blind shoots are fairly common, but not as commonly known, like you said. And it's quite literally, it's a terminal shoot that will never produce a bud. And certainly the science isn't completely definite why this happens, but you can certainly see, you see how these nice
ones,
buds that are just kind of coming, and a shoot that is basically around the same size, same development, that will never produce a bud.
And so what do we do? Do we just take it out? Do we spray? What can we do to get rid of it, or not, not have it around?
So basically what we're going to do is, I have my Falcos here, so I'm going to actually just deadhead it and prune it off like that. And more than likely it will send out another shoot that will have a bud. And you'll just keep kind of checking, kind of like how you're deadheading. You're going through, you're deadheading your roses.
Sure.
You should also be looking for these blind shoots.
And they say maybe it's because it's a little shadier area. Sometimes some roses are just more apt to have them.
Yeah, certainly there's a lot of factors in just what you said. I certainly see them more on other varieties. It's a lot of weather dependent. And here we are in a more shady location. You think about it, they need all the sun to photosynthesize, so if they're in the shade more, they have less energy to produce the buds, because that's where they put most of their energy development.
Well, we're going to go to another part of the garden and see some other things, so let's go over there.
All right, sounds good.
Now, what is this disease we're looking at?
So this is actually black spot. This is actually the most common fungal disease that roses are susceptible to. And so, it starts out with these little black spots, and eventually it's going to turn into this yellow leaf. And basically any foliage that's infected is eventually going to fall off. So there are multiple things that you can actually do to manage this disease. And you can't really cure it, so the best way to manage it is to prevent it. So you can do multiple things. If you find that, yes, we do have infected leaves, we can just go ahead and take those off. And that way it doesn't spread up the plant, because basically the spores overwinter in the soil, it overwinters in infected stems, infected leaves. And so that will just, when water comes and splashes the spores up, it will just work, it will spread it, yes. So you can actually take away the mulch and add new mulch to kind of, take away any of those overwintering spores. You can, like I said, take off the rose foliage, or, this is kind of crowded in here. So if you kind of want to prune out the middle, add some good air circulation, so that way it doesn't have such like a dense, humid environment where it thrives.
And then what is that what we're going to see on roses this time of year?
Definitely some powdery mildew. And the difference for powdery mildew is actually it'll be attacking more of the top growth and more of the newer succulent shoots at the top. And you'll see kind of like a flowery layer. And so I think the biggest thing you can do actually is to find a resistant variety, because really the best thing to do for it is to spray for it. And certainly you can open up the base of the plant to create some more air circulation. But I find there's just, finding more resistant variety would be the best way to go as far as treating it. I mean, you could spray, but if you don't want to do that, finding the resistant variety.
So those are two of the big diseases for roses. So are there any pests that we should be worried about?
Probably one of the biggest questions I get is, how do I treat my aphids? Because you see them on the new bud, you worry that they're going to infect them. But to be honest, we don't really do too much, because if you have a low enough population, they don't really do too much damage. And that kind of creates a food source for your beneficials. So for your ladybugs, so they come and they can eat, and they'll just keep coming back year after year. Because you have a food source for them.
So if we're concerned about them, we can wash them off with water, or if we're really concerned, we can get some of the sprays that would take care of that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do multi things. So.
Well, you heard all of these tips to take care of your roses at your home. Rachel's got thousands of roses here at the Rose Garden, a great place to come in June. And if you have any other questions, please go to gardentime.tv. Thanks, Rachel. It looks gorgeous.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.